Coming to you live from Dunning Field, Ian Nicholas, Braden, Schenck, and the rest of the NCTV crew and DAF Media, bringing you the live action of what is one of, if not the most highly anticipated regular season game for Connecticut high school girls lacrosse. It's the new Canaan Rams up against the Darien Blue Wave, the presumptive #1 and #2 teams in Fairfield County. And this should be a terrific one. Darien is 3-0 as they have picked up monster wins over Brian McMahon, 21-2 to start their year, and then beating a couple of really good teams in Wilton and most recently Richfield, 14-7. Meanwhile, for New Canaan, this is their first game out of a 2-week quarantine, and what a way to start their season playing the eight-time defending Fairfield County Interscholastic Athletic Conference champions. So they've got a challenge in front of them. They got their work cut out for them. New Canaan obviously 0-0. Their first few games have been shuffled around, and they're going to play their 14-game regular season in 31 days. Now I'm going to talk to a man who knows a little bit more about Darien girls lacrosse than I do, and that is our DAF Media Schenck. Braden, tell us a little bit about this Darien team, how phenomenal it is, and some of the players who are going to be guiding the Blue Wave on the turf this afternoon.
Thanks, Ian. It's a pleasure to be with you. It's my first time calling a game with you. It should be a fun one.
Yes.
This Darien team, as you mentioned, 3-0. 3 just dominant games for the Blue Wave. Some of their key players, Molly McGuckin, put up 9 goals on the season so far. Ryan Hapgood, I believe, had 5 in that Richfield game. Also look out for freshman Sadie Stafford. Her brother Jeremiah, a part of the Blue Wave boys team, so a very good lacrosse family. She had 4 goals in that Richfield game as well. And on the goaltending side, Shea Dolce, verbally committed to BC, second year, just a junior, going to be a stellar in between the pipes for Darien tonight.
Yeah, talk about a player in Shea Dolce who's verbally committed to Boston College as a junior, as you mentioned. And as a freshman, she was one of the top players in the state in net for Darien, who won both FCX and the Class L state championship in 2019, doing what they do best under legendary coach Lisa Lindsley, who has been coaching for Darien since 1994. But Shea Dolce, she's a phenomenal player, all FCAC, and was the FCAC title game MVP, defeating New Canaan in the title game. Or excuse me, it was not. Yeah, it was New Canaan that year. It was New Canaan, both FCACs and state. So Darien has had New Canaan's number for a while, just like they've had everybody's number. They didn't even lose a game in the state of Connecticut from 2012 to 2018. They have to play out a conference everywhere just to get some competition that can really put up a fight against them. But how important is it in any sport where a goalie is involved, Braden, to have a player like Shea Dolce, who you just do not have to worry about her. She's unflappable, and she is as talented as they come.
I think it's a huge advantage. As you mentioned, you don't have to worry about it. When you know there's a shot on net, Shea Dolce is going to be there to make the save. As the opposition there, that's something you got to plan for, a good goaltender. And you got to keep just finding new ways to try to put it in the net. I mean, it's a huge advantage to have a really stellar goaltender, especially someone like Shea Dolce.
Again, I want to mention this is a joint production between NCTV 78 and DAF Media, joining forces behind the scenes to bring you the broadcast that you all deserve from home in this matchup between the New Canaan Rams and the Darien Blue Wave right here from Dunning Field. The guys' teams will also match up on Saturday, and you can check out that game on DAF Media, where the New Canaan Rams, ranked as the 5th best team in the state of Connecticut, will battle the Darien Blue Wave, a #1 team in the state of Connecticut. Darien is just a powerhouse for lacrosse, and they've got more than just a great goalie. They've got phenomenal players, and one of their best players, Braden, isn't even going to be playing today. Chloe Humphrey, the sophomore, a long line of Humphreys that have come for Darien and have just dominated athletics there at the high school, and she's one of the top players on his team at attack, and she is out indefinitely with a stress fracture in her back. She is going to be one of the players for years to come who are really going to be one of the highlight players for Coach Lindley.
Yeah, Chloe Humphrey, the top-ranked prospect according to Inside Lacrosse for the class of 2023. Her sister, Nicole Humphrey, currently at Stanford University. Her other sister, Nicole Humphrey, at North Carolina, both playing lacrosse. Also got a younger brother coming up, I believe, plays lacrosse there. Very lacrosse family there.
Very lacrosse.
But it should be a good matchup here tonight.
Hey, speaking of UNC, if you're a New Canaan fan, you know the name McKenna Harden and you know the name Kaylee Harden, 2 of the top players in the state. Their father, Boyd, was also a legendary lacrosse player here at New Canaan High School, and he went to play his college ball at, you guessed it, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So it's going to be a very interesting game between 2 of the most talented teams in the state, the New Canaan Rams, coached by 15th-year coach Kristen Woods, a 6-time state champion as a head coach, and 3 of the last 5 years she has brought her team to the FCAC title game. And in this shortened season where they are playing through adversity, playing through a global pandemic, they're going to try to do it again. McKenna Harden for New Canaan, number 13, and I believe Sadie Stafford for Darien are going to face off and get this one kicked off from Dunning Field.
As you mentioned, Stafford taking the face-off, one of the draw specialists for this Darien team. Usually the one getting this opening face-off, and she will be again in tonight's game.
A cold 46-degree Fahrenheit windy day from Dunning Field. Fighting for it, a loose ball in the middle of the field. It will be Dylan Patton who looks to come away with it for the Rams, and they will win their first face-off on this 2021 spring season. For the first time since June 2019, the New Canaan Rams are back. And the Cornell commit, the junior in the speedster, Dylan Patton, has the ball and gets it over to number 13, McKenna Harden. Harden working it over to number 7, the freshman, Devin Russell. Moving it behind the cage now is New Canaan. Quinn McKiernan, the Trinity commit upstate. Swinging it over. New Canaan patient to start this one in his 25-minute half. Harden moves right, looks to go all the way, bounces it between the legs of Dulce, and New Canaan goes up 1-0, not even a minute into this game.
I believe they're actually going to wave it off.
Might have been a crease violation on McKenna Harden.
I believe they are going to call it a crease violation on Harding. So Darien's going to dodge a bullet there. Shea Dolce let one up, but it's not going to count.
See, even when she lets it up, it doesn't count. That's how good she is. Sorry for the blunder there, folks. A little rusty I am, as there's going to be a whistle blown along the far sideline as shoved to the ground was one of the Blue Wave players. They're going to pick up right from outside the 35-yard line. So, again, that McKenna Harden goal does not count, a crease violation on the star UNC-bound senior. So, still a scoreless game, a minute and a half into this one. 23-25 on your clock.
Yeah, 2 minor fouls there for New Canaan, both around the restraining lines. They're just going to pick up one of the new rule changes in girls lacrosse. They don't have a whistle to bring it back in play. It's on the girl to just start the play back up after that first whistle.
Stafford moves left, guarded by Dylan Patton. Now into the hands of number 13, Molly McGuckin. A key part of this Blue Wave attack.
So far, both teams are really showing a lot of ball movement. We're just a couple minutes in, but it feels like almost every player in the field has touched the ball.
Stafford shoots high, and Darien will retain possession. In goal for New Canaan is number 42, the star junior netminder, Claire Mahoney, the Brown commit, who's aggressive and athletic between the pipes for the New Canaan Rams, taking over the starting job this year. Darien misfiring, nearly turning it over, but scooping it up will be Stafford. So another chance here for the Blue Wave. Following that missed shot just moments ago.
That could have been very chaotic for the Blue Wave, but nice job by Stafford to be there and save the pass and keep Darien on offense.
Darien has just been rolling this year, averaging nearly 12 goals per game and giving up under 5 per game. As the ball is loose, good defensive effort from New Canaan, but Darien will once again retain possession in the stick of star CeCe Stein. Stein, the Michigan commit midfielder, one of the top players on this Darien team as a junior.
That's pretty impressive right there. A junior already committed to Michigan, I believe, to play lacrosse.
Yes, she is. Darien looking for a look. Another misfire as a Blue Wave player is knocked to the turf. Taking that hit, number 25, Kate Advabil.
It's evitable.
Excuse me. As New Canaan has a bit of a fast break opportunity here. They're going to push the pace. Kaylee Harden, ball in her stick as she's going to slow it down here for New Canaan and try to set something up.
Canaan had a pretty good first possession in this one. It was called off due to the crease violation. It's going to be interesting to see if they have that same passing the ball around mentality and put that shot up when they're open. Maybe put up another goal in this one.
McKenna Harden looking to put in a goal that counts, trying to find her teammate, and she does. Falling to the turf, and it's the freshman who gets the scoring spree started for New Canaan this year. It is Devin Russell off the assist from McKenna Harden. What a shot there, Braden.
Wow. I mean, Darien, you really can't do anything there. I mean, she was falling to the ground. She threw a shot up last second. I can't believe she put that in. That's an amazing first goal of the season for the New Canaan Rams.
An amazing goal indeed. Let's get a second look at that snipe from Devin Russell right in front of a crease a few yards out and just finding her. McKenna Harden, she couldn't put it in on the first possession, the crease violation, the goal waved off, but she's doing it in every way possible, getting the assist to the freshman, and she will face off once again, this time matched up not against Sadie Stafford, but against Maggie Ramsey, USC commit.
As you mentioned, Maggie Ramsey going to USC. Her sister, Katie Ramsey, currently at USC. She's a junior, so when Maggie comes in, Katie will be heading out.
Looks like a violation on Darien, so McKenna Harden is going to be awarded the possession. New Canaan will be awarded possession for a second straight time, looking to extend their 1-0 lead over a team like Darien, which very rarely really gets a challenge from anybody in the state of Connecticut, but New Canaan with the 1-0 lead, looking to break Darien's undefeated record early in this year. Dylan Patton looking to take it all the way, bouncing it in front of Dolce, missing, but Quinn McKiernan is there behind the cage to ensure another New Canaan possession. Just over 20 minutes left in half number 1.
This New Canaan team seems to be the faster team out here. It seems like they're breaking away from their defender a little bit quicker and getting those shots up. But this is kind of a common theme, if you will, for Darien. They were down 3-0 to Richfield the first 7 or 8 minutes or so in that one. So New Canaan with this free possession has an opportunity to go up 2-0.
Good save in front of a crease for Shea Dolce. Darien looking to clear and finally get something going on the other end.
It's always a big motivation boost when, especially on a free possession, when the player with the ball just runs up and has a free shot almost. It's always a nice save for the goalie.
A bit of a miscalculation over the middle of the field, and a penalty will be called on New Canaan. So getting bailed out and not turning it over there was Kate Bellissimo, the senior. Also a star hockey player for Darien. She was during the winter season when they were also matched up against New Canaan in the SCAC championship game, and New Canaan won that matchup for the second straight year. Or excuse me, they matched up for the second straight year, but New Canaan took it this year.
Also got to mention Kate Bellissimo, a star soccer player, also lost to New Canaan in the FCAC West championship game.
Yeah, these girls know plenty of each other. Shot on goal is not going to count for number 17, Ryan Hapgood, the sophomore. Another one of the talented up-and-comers in this Darien program. Both these coaches, Braden, do an excellent job of maintaining their future talent while also developing the talent that they know is going to play right here and now.
Yeah, both of these teams really have got a lot of balance between all their grades. Even a lot of freshmen on these teams, which is something you don't see many on these varsity teams with a lot of players. It's something that both of these coaches, Coach Wood and Lindley, do a very good job at.
Yep, Devin Russell, one of the few freshmen on this New Canaan varsity team, getting the first goal of the year for the Rams. Now, just under 18.5 minutes left to go in half number 1. Darien has had their problems getting it close to Claire Mahoney and the net early on. New Canaan playing a physical and solid brand of defense. Hapgood with it, moving to her left. Kaylee Harden's giving her nothing. Hapgood finds the lane, shoots, misses, deflected away by Mahoney, but it will stay in Darien possession most likely.
It's a nice job by Harden there on defense. It was Harden and someone else came in and crashed on Hapgood, so it was a 3-on-1, and Hapgood really couldn't get a good shot off.
A lot of effort there from the sophomore, though, to get a solid look as Stein passes it out. Darien resets. Now on the wing and bringing it behind the cage. New Canaan up 1-0 again in their first game of the year. On Monday, it was announced they had to go into a quarantine. Their players returned to school on Monday. Well, last Monday, they were put in the quarantine. A week later, back in school. And just one practice under their belt. And that was yesterday in the rain as Darien will turn it over. And New Canaan's Carolyn Barron, a young up-and-coming defender, a junior, takes over. But then she turns it over. And along the far sideline, whistles are blown. So Darien is going to get the ball right back after their turnover.
Maggie Bellissimo there, nice job picking up that loose ball. Sister of Kate Bellissimo, as we just talked about her. Darien's now going to, they had a rough possession last time. Now they're going to try to put up a goal here potentially.
Darien, a slow start, which is uncharacteristic for them. coming off a nice 14-7 home win against Richfield earlier this week, one of the top 5 teams in the county. And they really dominated that game from start to finish. Their first real challenge of this year. Ball loose. Really solid defense from Kaylee Harden. In front of a crease, some commotion. The ball poked loose, and there to scoop it up is Hapgood. Hapgood gets it over to Sadie Stafford. Just over 16 minutes left to go in the first half as Darien finds the woman that they want to shoot, and she scores, falling to the turf. It's Molly McGuckin, the star attack, the junior, who gets goal number 1 on this game for Darien and knocks it up at 1.
I mean, that was just a great possession for Darien. This New Canaan defense, all they did was knock it out of Darien's sticks, but they couldn't gain possession. Darien just kept getting the ball, making the passes, and it was a nice job by McGuckin there to finish and get Darien on the board in this one. Ramsey now taking her second face-off for Darien. Stafford took the opening one and hasn't taken one since.
All right, so face-off number 3 here. McKenna Harden back at it. As Darien's going to bring it the other way. Another possession for them, their 3rd straight. Looking to get right back in this one. The momentum starting to turn in the Blue Waves' favor after that goal from number 13, Molly McGuckin. Darien looking to get a good look inside once again. Whistle's blown and a turnover for Darien on a violation. It will go into the hands of the Rams.
It's actually going to be a free possession. That was a foul on New Canaan, so they're going to go to the 8-meter fan. Darien's going to get, I believe, a free possession at the goal.
You're exactly right. The free shot is going to miss just off the right pole. So a lucky break for New Canaan off that free possession. Another shot dangerously close to going in. Darien starting to up the tempo offensively, amp it up. Getting some good looks. On the move, getting inside, putting up the shot. Scooped up by Kaylee Harden. Harden trying to get it out of trouble, which she does. Whistles are blown. And it looks like it's going to be potentially another. No, it's not going to be a free possession. It's going to be Harden who takes over right from inside the hash line here from Dunning Field. Harden on the move now, cross midfield, dumping it off to Dylan Patton, who's nothing but pure speed down the far sideline.
Patton, also a soccer player. I think that's where she gets her speed from.
Yep.
Very good soccer player, too. And she's been showing off her speed so far in this one.
There's a reason why New Canaan, just like Darien, dominates any season, any time with their athletes. A lot of them multi-sport, a lot of them 3-sport athletes. As number 16 for the Rams, Lexi Tully, the freshman, is really met by a wall of New Canaan defenders. Well, moving in, trying to get a shot there, McKenna Harden. A 1-1 game in the early going here from Dunning, Ian Nicholas, Braden, Schenck, and the rest of the NCTV crew and the rest of the DAF Media crew on its joint production. The shot fake does not fool Shea Dolce. Moving in off the cut was Kaylee Harden. Nice move from her, but Dolce was not fooled.
That was a really nice pass from Canaan from the X. I believe you said to Harden, but Shea Dolce was right there to make the save.
Yes, she was. That's why she's one of the top players in the country. She was on a national list for top 25 high school lacrosse players to keep an eye on, and we are certainly keeping an eye on her here, making a big save here to keep it tied up at 1. Darien looking to get something inside here. Moving is Stein. Ball loose behind the crease, picked up by Stein in front of the net. Popped up in the air. Players toppling over each other. Racing after it and scooping it up for New Canaan is Devin Russell. She certainly made her impact in her first year of varsity action. Russell slows it up. Behind the crease now. Behind the net, I should say. 12:45 left to go. in this first half. Jade Lowe, the junior, handling the ball for New Canaan. Moving to her right. In this low-scoring affair here from Dunningfield. The defenses, Braden, have really been alive and well. Maybe I spoke too soon. A beautiful cut and a score from number 3, Dylan Patton. And New Canaan retakes the lead 2-1. A great response following that Darien goal. And it will be Dylan Patton with goal number 1 on the year for her.
Wow, I mean, that was just a great possession for New Canaan overall. And you finish off with a goal from Dylan Patton. New Canaan once again on top. I mean, Dolce, she's getting beat on those cuts inside and those shots right in front of the crease.
Let's get a second look at that goal from the junior, Dylan Patton. The Cornell commit, playing smart there. Trying to get that second look, and the slow-mo moving to her right, and Dolce could not get there in time. So New Canaan goes back up 2-1, 12:25 left to go in the first half. Exactly, or a little more than exactly, 5 seconds over the halfway mark of 25 minutes. Devin Russell could not scoop up that one. Instead, Darien's Molly McGuckin looks to get things back on track for the Blue Wave.
As you mentioned, Ian, this New Canaan team is coming off quarantine. I got to assume one advantage they have in this game is they probably scouted Shea Dolce, found out which zones. They got an extra 2 weeks to scout that, and I think that's really been apparent so far. They're finding the zones where Shea Dolce might be a little bit weaker.
Talked to Coach Kristen Woods before the game, and I asked her, was it somewhat of an advantage that you were able to get a little bit of time off to get a scout on your arch rival, Darien? And she said 100%. In a year where you really know nobody on the other teams, getting 3 games on tape was huge for this game and in the preparation, as they saw things in that Richfield game, albeit a 7-goal win for Darien, but they saw things that they definitely are able to exploit in the early going. Claire Mahoney with the save there, and the clear will come from Carolyn Barron. Barron misfiring on a pass, and that will be a New Canaan turnover as tumbling over and losing her stick, number 9, Caroline Underwood, a sophomore.
Got to be good for the Darien defense there. Just a careless error for New Canaan. A high pass. Now it's going to be a Blue Wave ball.
Moving it up the near sideline, number 21, Casey Benoit. Benoit bringing it across the halfway mark inside the 30 now. Darien on the wing, trailing 2-1. After that, Dylan Patton goal just about a minute ago. And they're just going to reset. Coach Lisa Leslie needs a lot out of this possession. Moving to her right, shooting, missing wide left, number 17, Ryan Hapgood. And it will be New Canaan ball as number 24 for the Rams, Ella Patterson. The midfielder was the closest one to that ball when it fell out of bounds. Patton spinning in the other way now, moving to her right, racing past everybody. Inside the 40. Picked up by a Blue Wave defender, number 27, Maggie Bellissimo, the freshman. Just over 10 minutes left to go in half number 1. New Canaan holds the 2-1 lead.
It's a very low-scoring team for 2 of the top girls lacrosse teams in the state of Connecticut. As you mentioned, it's just really a defense game. Both of these defenses also the 2 best in the state. And I mean, that's really what's been showing so far.
It certainly has. Lexi Toy, the freshman, with the ball in this game, which is just flying by without a lot of scoring. McKenna Harden directing traffic from the 25, dumping it off to her sister, Kaylee. A little bit of a 2-man game here between the sisters as Harden is pushed away, the former All-State player as a sophomore in 2019. Moving to her left, picking up the loose ball, running into a wall. Devin Russell's going to scoop it up alongside the far alley, being pushed. Gets it away to Quinn McKiernan. Her sister, Carney, plays for Bucknell now in lacrosse.
The Bisons.
The Bisons. Big-time school here for New Canaan High. A lot of kids committed to Bucknell, not just for athletics. As Kaylee Harden is just shoved out of the way by number 10, Sadie Stafford, the freshman, providing great defense. But then Harden's going to break free and dump it off to Dylan Patton.
You mentioned Bucknell, a Darien defender, Emma Riley, heading off to Bucknell next year.
Yep, a lot of these girls are going to end up playing with each other down the line. They know plenty of each other now as rivals, but in a year or two, they're going to have to learn to share the ball and maybe even share a room. As Quinn McKiernan facing the heat from behind the cage, breaks free. A cutting New Canaan player cannot scoop it up. The ball loose. In an extra possession game for New Canaan as Dylan Patton has the ball. That shot was missed by number 16, Lexi Tully.
Canaan, once again, just having some passes around that arc, waiting to bring it in and really have a possession and a good shot opportunity, as they might have one here.
And they do! He speaks of the devil. The score from Dylan Patton, her second of the game. The Cornell commit coming out in style and scoring her second straight goal to extend the Rams' lead to 2, 3-1 with 7:43 left to go in this first half. And let's get a second look at that one. There's your look as Dolce on her knees on the turf. Beat this time to the left by Dylan Patton.
As we keep calling Dylan Patton's name, she is someone that has killed the Blue Wave in the past. She scored a goal in last year's FCAC championship game against Darien, as well as one in that Class L championship game versus Darien. So she's had a lot of success against this Blue Wave team.
It seems like it might be a no-goal call.
It actually was a timeout for Darien.
It is a timeout for Darien, just trying to get confirmation here, but it is 3-1.
Or they might be taking it off the board.
It looks like we're getting some clarification here. Might be a no-goal call. But we're really not sure of the reason. Both teams are huddled up, and neither of the refs really gave a clear indication on the field why it wouldn't be a goal.
No, they never blew the whistle.
They never blew the whistle after the goal. Well, let's get the clarification. Both of these coaches, obviously phenomenal coaches. They've been coaching at their respective programs for well over a decade and a half for Coach Woods and for Coach Lindley, nearly 3 decades since 1994. Both of them were great college players as well. Coach Lindley was a star at UMass. Coach Woods was a star at Penn State. Both of them were captains. Coach Woods was an academic All-American, and Coach Lindley's in almost every Hall of Fame you could possibly dream up as a coach and as a player. UMass Hall of Fame as a player, FCAC Hall of Fame as a coach, and the National Hall of Fame as a coach. Lisa Lindley, just a phenomenal career she has had coaching this program. 17 state titles, 9 straight FCAC titles. That's what they're gunning for this year, but 9th straight title. They didn't lose to a single FCAC opponent in their 2019 FCAC winning season. If they lost today and it's a 2-1 game, I get it. They're not trailing big. They can come back and play lights out, but if they were to lose their first FCAC game, it would be their first in years. Again, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they won 107 straight games from 2012 to 2018 against opponents that play in Connecticut as both FCAC teams and out of conference teams. Just a phenomenal team, well coached, but they're going to say that's not a goal.
As you mentioned,
as Coach Kristen, Braden, as Coach Kristen Woods goes over and gets the clarification from the ref in the middle of the field, as you can see in the middle of your screen. We don't have the clarification for you, unfortunately, but they're going to say that Dylan Patton did not score that goal.
As you just mentioned, Ian, Darien, with that 107 Connecticut opponent streak, they actually do still have a streak going, 85 consecutive regular season games against FCAC opponents, dating back to 2012.
So there you go. That's your tidbit of the day, and hopefully for Blue Wave fans at home, they can get win number 86 in a row against an FCAC opponent and their most dreaded rival, the New Canaan Rams. Darien sets up shot here. They only trail 1. That Patton goal did not count. Moving inside, spinning to her left. Kicking it out to Ryan Hapgood. Hapgood pressured by Kaylee Harden. Over to number 22, Nell Niffen, the midfielder and defender. Also a great hockey player as well. Cutting, deflected by Mahoney. Really good save, but the pass back to Mahoney was a miscalculation, and off the rebound, a score for Colette Quinn, the sophomore.
That's just a very alert play right there. A lot of moving pieces there. I think we almost saw a change of possession, but a nice job by Colette Quinn to get the ball, throw the shot on, and tie this game up at 2.
So Colette Quinn scores the goal, makes it a 2-2 game with just under 7 minutes left to go in half number 1. They were trying to get the ball back to the goalie, Claire Mahoney, the Brown commit. She made a great save right in front of a crease, and then a bad pass from one of her teammates, which was deflected, and off a rebound, it was Colette Quinn who scored to make it a 2-2 game.
This game's been very interesting so far. I mean, New Canaan debatably could be up 4-2. They had 2 called off goals.
They did. That one a miss to the left, and it will stay in Darien possession.
Looked like CC Stein there. Darien was trying to have some rapid offense right there. They won the face-off, made one quick pass, and Stein tried to put up a goal, but Darien's going to keep with the ball.
And New Canaan rolled with Lexi Toy, the freshman, on the face-off there instead of McKenna Harden. And it did not pay off for the Rams. Darien looking to score a second straight goal, moving to the left, trying to find the cutter, falling to the turf, scooped up by Kaylee Harden, and she is whacked right in the chin. And that is going to be a penalty on Darien, and a New Canaan will take over possession after a tough fall for Kaylee Harden.
Looks like they're going to give Nell Niffen a penalty there. I think it was a high check they're going to call, so she's going to go. Number 22, Nell Niffen there, is going to go to the penalty box, if you will, I believe on just a 1 minute or 2 minute minor, actually.
So that means that New Canaan will be man up for the next 2 minutes, which is obviously a golden opportunity for New Canaan to try to get some more goals that count after they had 2 goals waved off earlier in this game. Dylan Patton, who had that last goal waved off. Excuse me, that wasn't Patton. That was number 4, Emma Shue, the senior midfielder, who got the ball up the field there.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this is a golden opportunity for New Canaan. They're going to be playing the 6-on-5 here on offense. Overall, it's still going to be the 11-on-10, if you will. But it's still a huge advantage that they now have an attacker that it really isn't going to get guarded by a sole defender.
Well, they blew that opportunity there. A turnover. Darien looking to just run out some clock with over 1:15 left in the man up for New Canaan and keep the ball out of their hands until they can get their extra woman back on the field.
New Canaan is playing a pretty hard press here. They're just trying to get the ball back and maybe put up a good offensive possession, as it looks like they get the ball back there.
And they will. Maggie Ramsey turning it over. That press in the middle of the field, working out to perfection for New Canaan as Dylan Patton slows it down. Still 50 seconds left for New Canaan in the man-up situation. Looking to score their first man-up goal of the year. And their first game of the year.
Just be their 3rd of the year.
McKenna Harden shoots and missing. Will be number 18. Hollis Mulry getting into the game for her first time today.
So nice job by Dolce to pick up. As you mentioned, Mulry was trying to go low. She kind of dropped that leg and made the block. Now she's just going to try to run out the penalty time.
Dolce comes out of the goal, and as you mentioned, is trying to run out the penalty time. Only 14 seconds of it left. But the ball is turned over once again. Taking over for New Canaan, number 9, Caroline Underwood. And then Underwood is going to be fouled. And the man up will end for New Canaan as whistles are blown. Try to figure out what this call is, and now play will resume, and Harden is on the move.
That did appear to be a major foul, as Ramsey did move to the back of the defender there, but not a penalty, just a foul.
Kaylee Harden dances near the 20. A 2-2 game. Darien nodding it up a few minutes ago. Quinn McKiernan finds the cutter, and that one will count, bearing any unforeseen calls like that last one, but this one will count for Dylan Patton. She is absolutely on fire, and now with 3:42 left to go in the first half, she scores her second goal on this young season, and New Canaan's third on the game.
I can't imagine Coach Lindley's really going to be happy with that goal against. I mean, that was a beautiful pass to Patton, but she was wide open in that goalie crease, had a perfect shot. And Dolce, I mean, she just really had to guess at it, make a save.
Looked like an alley-oop. Quinn McKiernan, the basketball player herself. She might also play basketball at Trinity after being a captain for New Canaan's basketball team over the winter and over the years. Just popping it right up to a wide open and cutting Dylan Patton. And she scores to bring the lead back into New Canaan's hand. It has been a back-and-forth game, tit for tat. New Canaan is going to go up here with just under 4 minutes left in the first half. And Kaylee Harden in at the faceoff for New Canaan up against Darien's Maggie Ramsey. Loose ball. And Darien's number 13, Molly McGuckin's going to come away with it. McGuckin behind the cage. Works it over to Ramsey. On the far alley, getting it over to Stafford. Hapgood. And now Nell Niffen. Stein moving to her left. Backpedaling. Darien, a slow start offensively in this game after a red-hot start to their season on the offensive end. Scoring double-digit goals in every single one of their games, and that is a clear and obvious penalty on New Canaan, as taking a hit to the midsection was McGuckin. And they're going to go over the call here.
Looks like the ref's going to pull out the yellow card, and we are going to see a penalty on...
We'll get the clarification. It will be on New Canaan. Penalty will be on New Canaan. Let's see what the damage is for the Rams with 2:57 left to go. They're going to call it on number 2, Emma Coyote. And it's going to be a 2-minute penalty and a free possession here. So a brutal call for New Canaan.
Interesting decision
Yep.
by McGuckin there off the hash to just move back and not make an effort at the goal. It shows you that this Darien team is going to have a more, long drawn out penalty opportunity. They are a man up, so they're going to really try to, set their possession high and put up a goal.
So New Canaan was man up just a few moments ago. They could not capitalize with the goal, but moments later they got the Dylan Patton goal. Here Darien is man up, and they will also turn it over for a brief moment. Ball still loose. Into the hands of New Canaan's number 17, Courtney O'Connell. O'Connell alongside the far sideline, looking for a push, which she will get. O'Connell, a star athlete at New Canaan, soccer, hockey, lacrosse. She's one of the 3 captains on this team alongside McKenna Harden and Shay Hobbs. Dylan Patton, ball on her stick here, spinning around. O'Connell, according to Coach Woods, has really stepped up on defense so far this year. She's looked really good in the limited practices they have had. Behind the cage, it's number 9, Caroline Underwood. Still 50 seconds left for Darien in the man up, but New Canaan showing no signs of giving the ball up just yet, but tumbling and staying up will be Patton. I don't know how she hasn't gotten tired yet.
Canaan has an opportunity. A nice interception by Dolce.
Dolce just read where that pass was going and making plays outside of the crease. That ball trying to get it to Quinn McKiernan. They could not. Darien still got 20 seconds left, man up.
That was another instance there for a second where Darien really wasn't covering that middle of the fan. And it really was just, they could have made a pass up and potentially put a shot up. As I think we're going to see a yellow card on someone.
Another turnover for Darien. Man up almost over for the Blue Wave as well.
It's actually for 6 seconds. We're going to be both teams at even strength as Bellissimo's going to get a penalty called.
So, yep, New Canaan is going to be man up for 2 minutes, and the penalty on New Canaan is all but expired. So, for the rest of the half, New Canaan has a really good opportunity to add one more goal. McKenna Harden left all alone at the 25-yard line, calling out, trying to provide a line of communication to her team. The cut from Kaylee, the shot missing off the left pole. Rebound opportunity scooped up by Lexi Tully. Still 33 seconds. Harden backs away. Wide open lane for Caroline Underwood. She will take it, and Dolce says, no thanks. I'm scooping that up with ease.
It was almost an instance there where it looked like Darien was still playing man-to-man defense, and they found the wide-open player and just didn't cut in. But it was a nice save by Dolce.
Underwood, her first year on varsity as a sophomore, and Dolce really was left on an island, or Underwood went right towards the crease. And Dolce behind the cage here is going to let time expire on this rough half for the Blue Wave. Really a slow start for both teams, but the score a little bit misleading. Braden has multiple goals were waved off for New Canaan, and in this game really is a game of inches. Every sport is, but a few of those calls were flipped the other way, this could be, New Canaan could be up 5-2 right now instead of 3-2.
Well, I think it just really shows just how good these teams are, how good their defenses are. I mean, New Canaan, they've given up only 2 goals, none called off for Darien. On Darien's side, they have given up 5 technically, 2 getting waved off. I think Coach Lindley's going to talk with their team at the halftime of just getting more coverage and not leaving the fan in the crease wide open so that New Canaan can make that cut pass and put home a goal.
And if there's anybody that I would trust to give me halftime adjustments, it would be the 28th year coach of this Darien program, Lisa Lindley, the 7-time state champion winner, the 18-time FCAC championship winner, inducted in the National Lacrosse Hall of Fame, the U.S. Lacrosse Connecticut Chapter Hall of Fame, the UMass Hall of Fame, the FCAC Hall of Fame, and Braden, I know we are not in any Hall of Fames, but
Fortunately
if you were Coach Lisa Lindley right now, from what you've seen up here in the booth, what are your major pieces of advice for the Blue Wave to get the second half off to a good start?
I think they really just got to put more possession up, put more shots off. They've seen this New Canaan defense now for, 25 minutes. They kind of know their strategy a little. They put up good shots. And like I said, on the defense, they just got to get more coverage out there and not leave the New Canaan players wide open to put up shots.
All right, Ian Nicholas, Braden Schenck, and this joint production between NCTV 78 and DAF Media, bringing you the live action from Dunning Field. We will be back in just over 5.5 minutes for the start of the second half. A 3-2 game, New Canaan in the lead and looking to snap the 85-game win streak of the Darien Blue Wave, consecutively beating FCAC opponents. Will we see a little bit of history here from Dunning on a windy Thursday afternoon? Make sure to tune in for the second half to see if we see that. And before we do that, actually, excuse me, brief reminder that we want to go through our sponsors who have been so great for us throughout the year. And let's roll that video. Start with our platinum sponsors, Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market, and also Rambuya and Hera, business of real estate. I want to thank our gold sponsor, Club Sandwich, for breakfast, lunch, or catering. Go to 107 Cherry Street right here in town. And New Canaan's, our silver sponsors, Performance PT, Educational Futures, the SIG Insurance Agencies, OSSM Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine, Renaissance Partners, Rand Insurance, and finally our black sponsors. Close out this first half, Ready Rooster, Sheila La, 84 Sports New Canaan, New Canaan Diner, NC Graphics, The Athletic Shoe Factory, Togs, Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, and Prudding & Company Custom Builders. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Make sure to come back in roughly 4 minutes to see the second half of this game right here from Dunning Field. New Canaan up 3-2 over the Darien Blue Wave and some girls lacrosse action. Coming to you back live from Dunning Field, Ian Nicholas, Braden, Schenck, and the rest of the NCTV crew alongside the DAF Media crew. This joint venture, the live action provided to you right here on YouTube. Hope you have liked and subscribed to both channels for more content from both of our programs for New Canaan Athletics and for Darien Athletics over the rest of this spring season. New Canaan holds the 3-2 halftime lead in their first game of the year. This is their first game off of COVID-19 quarantine. One of their players testing positive early last week. They did not have enough players available to compete in games, so their early games rescheduled, reshuffled, and now they are here on Dunning Field for their first game of the year. A lot of people expected this game to go one way in Darien's favor with 3 games under their belt and really a ready team in game shape, but Braden, that has not been the case early on. New Canaan has come out firing.
Yeah, it's almost kind of a role reversal here. This New Canaan team, I think they practiced for the first time in 2 weeks yesterday.
They did.
They had 3 great games scheduled against Greenwich, Ludlow, and Daniel Hand, all canceled, which must have been devastating. But I think they've been setting their sights to this Darien team, and it's definitely showed. They've been out here playing well.
They certainly have. A couple goals also waved off. Could be maybe even a wider scoring margin for New Canaan, but instead it's a 3-2 game here in the second half. It was a low-scoring affair in the first, and still 57 seconds of penalty action for Darien. So if New Canaan wins this face-off, they'll still be man up for roughly a minute, and New Canaan will win the face-off. It will go to Kaylee Harden. She goes racing down the field, breaking through the defense. She's going to gear up for the shot, and then is going to look to bring it back out here. Gets it over to McKenna Harden, or her senior sister.
It's very confusing.
It really is. The shot is scored. New Canaan in the man-up situation, and they take advantage. Up now 4-2, and that goal scored, I believe, not sure if I got a number on that one, might have been Lexi Tully, number 16, the freshman. Let's get a second look at that one if we can. But I believe it was Lexi Tully, and a lot of commotion there on that one, Braden.
Yeah, but it was a very smart play by Kaylee Harden. As you mentioned, she had an opportunity but backed out. So she had that opportunity but backed out. With the penalty time, you almost have to do that there because you got to have a good shot up. And they found, I think we said Lexi Tully there.
Excuse me, no, that was actually Hollis Mulry who scored her first goal on the year, not 16-18. New Canaan's going to win another face-off, and the USC commit, Hollis Mulry, the junior, is going to get her first goal on the year. New Canaan is now up 4-2 over the Blue Wave. The 85-game win streak of wins in the regular season against FCAC opponents is in danger.
Wow.
And the lead is not in danger for New Canaan. It's extended by Kaylee Harden, absolutely wide open, streaking from left to right in front of a crease and scoring as Shea Dolce is not getting a lot of support right now from her defense. And out of the half, Darien is not adjusting too well right now. 2 goals for New Canaan, just 57 seconds into the half, Braden.
I think what's really killing them here so far, one of the new rule changes to girls lacrosse, when a goal is scored by the opposing team, the player doesn't come out of the penalty box. So Darien's had to play these last 2 minutes without Kate Bellissimo, one of their star defenders, and that must have been tough, and they've given up 2 goals early here in the second half.
So New Canaan are really taking advantage of being man up for the first minute of this half and scoring 2 monster goals as they're going to win another possession here. McKenna Harden coming away with it. Kaylee Harden was in there for the face-off. The Harden sisters, they run this town when it comes to girls athletics. They were the stars of the hockey team. They were stars on the soccer team. And now in one of the town's biggest sports, lacrosse, they are doing what they do best. Kaylee Harden scoring that last goal as a whistle is blown.
Penalty flag's out, so it looks like someone might get a yellow card.
Trying to assess who this one is on.
Actually just appears to be a major foul on Hapgood. So once again, she's just going to move behind the defender that she was coming at, and now we're going to pick up play.
All right, well said, Braden. Still a New Canaan possession here, just under 2 minutes in to half number 2, and already 2 goals for the Rams in this half as they now lead 5-2. Quinn McKiernan Gets it over to Dylan Patton, who's already scored 2 goals in this game. Kaylee Harden, the latest goal for the Rams. McKenna Harden also had an early assist. She's been very active, although she has not yet scored. Coach Kristen Woods, her teams have been on the back end against games against Darien. Over the years, Darien has defeated New Canaan in the SCAC championship 6 times. Put that in perspective a little bit. 6 times New Canaan has made it to the championship game, and Darien has been the team that stopped them. So you know this game means a lot to both teams. Darien has been on the winning end of things against New Canaan for a long time. And Coach Kristen Woods and company in their first game of his COVID year looking to change their fortunes. McKenna Harden with the ball.
Yeah, that's actually really impressive, as you mentioned, Ian. These two teams, I think for the last 6 years, they've matched up in the FCAC championship game. There's roughly around 18 teams in the FCAC. So that's remarkable. The past 6 years, they have clearly been the top 2 teams making it to that game.
You know, since the FCAC championship became a thing in 1993 or 1994, only 4 teams in the FCAC have been champions. New Canaan, Darien, and then also Wilton and Greenwich. Those are the 4 teams ever who have won girls lacrosse FCAC championships in 25-plus years. So that's a little bit top-heavy for you. As Hollis Mulry takes that shot, it's deflected away, and into the stick of Shea Dulce, looking to clear it here, gets it to Nell Niffen. Finally, Darien getting a possession just under 4 minutes into the half. They're going to finally take over for a much-needed opportunity on the other end. They clear it successfully. On the move, Sadie Stafford.
Once again, Darien starting off the half really on a slow start. This is their first time actually, I believe, touching the ball and having a possession.
It is.
So it's something they got to adjust to, and I mean, we're 5 minutes into it. They've been playing defense for the last 5 minutes. So it's something the offense has got to get the legs warm and potentially put up a good possession.
CeCe Stein moves it back over to Stafford. New Canaan playing an excellent brand of defense. They have given up no easy looks to Darien. And Stein forced back out by Kaylee Harden alongside Emma Shue, who's really stepped up her game, according to Coach Woods. The senior midfielder, that is. Number 25 on the move. It is now behind the cage. Moving to her left. Getting it over the Hapgood. And now Stein. Darien looking for something. Number 14, Colette Quinn, who has one of the 2 Blue Wave goals today. Keeps the ball moving, but not a lot developing off of it for Darien. Now under 20 minutes left in the second half.
It's been a couple times this possession. Darien's tried to make a move at the goal, and New Canaan's just really pushed back. As we see again right there, I mean, this defense, they're playing stellar so far this game.
They really have been, Braden. Not much more you can say about that. No shot clock here in Connecticut, so possessions like this where the defense is playing well and the offense isn't forcing a lot, they could last for a long time. Kaylee Harden playing really well on the defensive end today. Moving to her left, not getting anything. Finally, a cutter gets open for Darien. The ball is loose. Darien had it for a moment, back into the stick of New Canaan, and it will be an easy clear for Dylan Patton. Just booking it to the other end of the field, all the way inside the 10, pretty much untouched as a whistle is blown, but play resumes.
It was a foul there. So I think they're going to get the ball back to that position.
They will. And it's still going to be New Canaan's ball, as they're going to pick up right there. Not a major penalty, though, so not another man-up situation for New Canaan. Turned over by McKenna Harden. Great defensive play from Quinn. The ball is loose, though. It's still going to be Darien ball.
It's going to be a foul there. Darien's just going to bring it back in play.
That they will. Kate Bellissimo finding number 25, Kate Avidable. Avidable. I'm 0 for 2 so far with that name. Avidable, the sophomore Just under 18 minutes left to go, and it's not number 18, it's number 17. That scores for Darien right in front of a crease. It's Ryan Hapgood. Life for the fans of Darien fans once again.
Yeah, the small student section here really getting happy after that one. Ryan Hapgood had the look, put the shot up. That's something Darien's been lacking all game, those clear looks. And when they do get those clear looks, they put them in. Ryan Hapgood, first of the game, eighth of the season. That's all Darien's really been lacking this game.
And Ryan Hapgood's really been a player, Braden, who's come on this year as a sophomore, a player who parents and fans probably didn't know anything about because she was a sophomore heading into this year. She's really stepped up her game, and now she's averaging 2 goals a game.
Yeah, she's really had a stellar past 2 games. Had 5 goals against Richfield, I believe a pair against Wilton. So she's really, she's been coming on the scene this year. No scouting really could be done on her, and she's just a phenomenal lacrosse player.
Well, the people at home certainly saw your live stream of that Richfield game on Monday and saw her 5 goals there. Darien won the face-off, but New Canaan forcing the turnover as McKenna Harden is going to be fouled. It will stay in New Canaan possession with 17:32 left in the half. 2 unanswered goals from New Canaan to start this game. But then it was Ryan Hapgood there, the sophomore, with the great look, as you mentioned, breaking free and getting it to go. Claire Mahoney couldn't stop it. New Canaan looking for another response. Tully moving it over to Patton. Behind the cage, Stella Nolan. Number 5, the sophomore midfielder for New Canaan.
I can't imagine New Canaan's in any rush right now. Still 16 minutes left on the clock, but with no shot clock, they could just run this thing out for as long as they can or wait until they have a very good opportunity to take a shot.
Let's see that opportunity here for Kaylee Harden. It is! Second goal today and on the year for Kaylee Harden. The first one from left to right, this one moving from right to left. Kaylee Harden with the score.
That almost looked like she drew Shea Dolce out of her crease, and then she just moved to her left and had a wide open net. That was just truly an attack beating a goaltender, and it's another New Canaan goal.
And one of the top attacks in the state, in the nation. Kaylee Harden a bit winded after that one, and why shouldn't she be? Really good pump fake initially, and then really throwing it behind her shoulders and getting that one to go. Acrobatics at the end from Kaylee Harden for goal number 2 for her on the game. And New Canaan with a quick strike response to re-extend the lead to 6-3 in this game over their arch rival.
Yeah, that goal, that really, when Dolce came out of the crease there, she was relying on her stick to make the save, rather than if she waited back and could have used her whole body to get in front of it and make the save. Just an overall phenomenal play by the New Canaan Rams.
Kaylee Harden and Sadie Stafford working on that face-off. It will be awarded to Darien. Darien finally had some life after that Hapgood goal, and then Kaylee Harden sucked it right back out of Coach Lindley and the rest of this squad. Looking to keep the energy high. Still plenty of time to make up the ground, but New Canaan has made few defensive errors in this game. Behind the cage. Now moving it in front. New Canaan picking her up. Number 17, Ryan Hapgood, looking to contain her.
They're going to pull the penalty flag on that one.
They will.
So I believe McGuckin there is going to go to the hashes with a potential free possession.
Let's see if that does become official. Still trying to sort it out. 15:51 left to go in the second half. Ian Nicholas, Braden, Schenck, and the rest of the NCTV crew, rest of the DAF Media crew, bringing you the live action here from Dunning Field. And it is going to be a free possession.
It's going to go to that left hash over there, actually right hash from the goaltender. Her last free possession, she just pulled it back. Darien was on the power play, if you will. They were a man up. So it's going to be interesting if she goes straight for the goal, and she does.
She does, and she misses. And it looks like New Canaan's going to gain possession if she can keep it in her stick. Number 24 races up the field, Ella Patterson. But another whistle is blown, and they're going to bring it back to the spot of the crime. And Patterson will take over there. Really, at the right place at the right time was the sophomore Ella Patterson after that missed shot from McGuckin. Courtney O'Connell races it up the field here. Her brothers, Ryan and Quinton, play lacrosse at UNC and were lacrosse legends in this town, where McKenna and Kaylee will be in a few years. Those families very close for obvious reasons.
I'm still shocked here that Darien, they've been so efficient when they have those free possessions. They've scored 4 or 5 goals this season on the free possession, and today they're 0 for 2. Just shows you this New Canaan defense is cutting the second that whistle is blown, causing just absolute chaos for the shooter, and they really can't get a shot up.
Well, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. That extra scout that New Canaan was able to get is come up huge, and that left pole came up huge for Darien right there. Just missing that shot was Dylan Patton off the left pole. The ball will stay in New Canaan possession. They're going to say that Stella Nolan regained the possession for New Canaan. Really just taking it and trying to make it was Dylan Patton, looking to go all the way, and she was pretty darn close. But bringing it back to what we were saying, it's that scout that New Canaan was able to get. You mentioned over the start of this year, Darien has been killing teams with those extra possessions, those free shots, and New Canaan and Coach Kristen Woods knew that's what we needed to stop in this game, and so far that's been very successful.
I also think another thing New Canaan's doing so well today is they're almost playing a mix of man-to-man and zone defense. As for when you take a look at a team like Richfield Darien played, was playing strictly a man-to-man, and if Darien can beat their defender, they have a look. Well, against New Canaan, they beat their defender, and another defender crashes in, covers the zone, and makes a nice stop for the Rams.
Patterson behind the cage here.
Canaan is going to get a free possession on that last hash on the fan. Nice stick deflection there for Darien.
Ball loose in front of the crease, fighting for it, both teams. And New Canaan's going to come away with it. Devin Russell, the freshman, making play after play in her varsity debut. New Canaan team is just resilient. They stay with the ball, don't lose it that often, and it's really been a difference in this game. Up 3 goals late into the second half. Actually, I was gonna say quarter. But that's boys lacrosse. That is boys lacrosse. 25-minute halves with the girls, 50-minute game overall, 12-minute quarters with the boys, 48-minute game overall. We got 12:40 left to go in the second half here from Dunning. The ball loose, shoved to the turf was Hollis Mulry, and that's going to be another penalty on Darien, and it would not be surprising if it's a major one. It doesn't look like it will be, though. It's actually just, I believe, a foul. Just a normal foul. As New Canaan will get the free possession, because it doesn't look like a Darien player is going on the penalty. Another nice deflection there from Darien. That's 2 in a row that left side of the fan on the free possession has come in and really made a nice block. Darien starting to pick it up on that end. But only 1 goal and very few possessions they've had in this second half, and that's what they need to get back in this game. They need to erase that 3-goal deficit. Kaylee Harden moves to her left, back to her right, shooting, bouncing off on the deflection. Dolce making a great deflection, and Darien now on the move, keeping it in their possession. Number 9 racing up here. Kate Bellissimo looking to make the clear. She does. Good pass on the break to Lily Tarrant. I think if they want to get a potential comeback in this game, they're going to have to start something soon, considering the fact that it's taken them close to 40 minutes and they've put up 3 goals. They have 11 minutes to match that. Good point, Braden. Will they pick it up out of the blue? Yes, they will. The Blue Wave will score, and they're going to start to put this comeback effort together. A 6-4 game there, 11-13 left to go. Not positive who scored on that one, but another really quality look from really close in. I mean, I don't want to take too much credit for that, but I did say they had to get something going. Oh, yeah, they heard you up here. They put the shot up there, and they put the goal in. Coach Lindley is going to take the timeout. And it's now only a 2-goal game. This is still a very doable game for the Blue Wave. I mean, it's anyone's game at this point. Still 11 minutes left. Just such a dangerous team Darien has. Only 2 goals. Not a huge deficit for them. Let's see if we can get a second look on that one. Try to clear up who scored for Darien. We always want to get the facts right here at NCTV and DAF Media. But another really good look from inside, and that's what makes it hard for us to decipher who scores. Those long-range shots, they're all isolated. You know who scores, but Darien does their best work when they just move the ball around, come from around the crease, and get the look that they want.
Yeah, it almost looked like Darien, they know they've been getting beat, trying to move to the net. So they just thought they would throw something up, take a longer shot, and it actually paid off there. So it's going to be interesting if Coach Lindley attempts more of those longer range shots in an effort to try to come back in this one.
So again, as I mentioned, New Canaan, since they were quarantined for 2 weeks, will now have to play their 14-game regular season schedule over a 31-day span, and the coach who will be guiding them through that crazy stretch will be the 15th-year head coach, Kristen Woods, a 223-61 record over her time here at New Canaan. Her teams have appeared in the FCX title game in 3 of the last 5 years, and you do have to remember that last year did not happen due to the COVID-19 pandemic, losing to Darien each time that they made it to the title game in those 3 years. She's won 6 state championships as a head coach. That is all the state championships that New Canaan's program for the girls have total. She's brought all 6 of them to New Canaan. The most recent was in 2018, winning their 3rd state title in the last 4 years, and all her state titles have been won since her 3rd season as the head coach in 2010. In her tenure, 25 players have earned All-American honors, and an additional 13 have earned academic All-American honors.
Wow.
Hey, they are student athletes.
Smart.
Pretty smart. She's also coached 77 All-State and 103 All-FCAC players. She's a 3-time Connecticut Coach of the Year, a 2-time FCAC Coach of the Year, and as I mentioned earlier, was a star player at Penn State, Damian Andrews' alma mater. I've got the facts right. DAF star advisor Damian Andrew coming down with the rest of the guys in this crew to help us put this production together. And as you mentioned, Braden, it's anyone's game with 11:13 left to go. 6-4 is your score. Darien with another good score there. And let's see, will New Canaan get their first win on the year in their first game on the year? Or will Darien defeat their arch rival, keep their FCAC regular season winning streak alive, which has spanned almost a decade at this point, in advance to a 4-0 record? The face-off here will be between Kaylee Harden and Sadie Stafford at the NC logo.
As we keep mentioning that streak, something to keep in mind, the last time New Canaan actually beat Darien in the regular season, 2012.
Jeez.
New Canaan beat Darien 9-8. I don't have the exact number of how many meetings they have. I assume they meet once a year or so, so you're looking at maybe 10, 12 meetings they've had since then in the regular season. So history will be made today if New Canaan does pull off a win.
2012, what a different time. And that was the last time that New Canaan was able to topple the Blue Wave. It's going to be a penalty there on Darien. It will stay in New Canaan possession as in and out of his stick of McKenna Harden. Harden's going to pick it right back up and getting over to Dylan Patton, who has 2 scores on this game. She has really been the star for New Canaan outside of the Harden sisters. Patton moves right, showing off the speed. Back to McKenna Harden.
Yeah, I believe that was actually just a foul on Bellissimo going over the shoulder. But still, it's an advantage for New Canaan, the fact that Bellissimo has to clear out certain meters, and they can just go whenever they're ready. So they got a couple seconds there where Bellissimo was caught off guard. And now they're going to try to pull off a good possession here.
McKiernan over to the all-around star at attack, Hollis Mulry, who scored earlier in this game, the USC commit. Kaylee Harden moves in and out. Just under 10 minutes left to go in this one from Dunning Field, as Harden really just driven out of the way by Colette Quinn. Moving to her left, dishing it over to number 13, McKenna Harden, the senior captain, UNC commit. Moving inside, Maury picking it right back up off the turf. Long possession brewing here for the Rams.
Yeah, all Darien really has to do is just knock the ball loose, pick it up. Still with 10 minutes left, they're going to have to get the ball and put up a possession. So I wouldn't be shocked if they play a little bit more of an aggressive defense.
Patton moves in and retreats to the back of the cage, finds her cutter, McKenna Harden, but a good pickup defensively by number 27, Maggie Bellissimo, the freshman. Putting it up, and a beautiful no-looker from Quinn McKiernan. The senior-to-senior connection as a well-placed pass from McKenna Harden finds the Trinity commit, Quinn McKiernan, and New Canaan re-extends the lead 7-4. Shea Dolce disappointed, but she could not see the tall and efficient Quinn McKiernan coming from her left, and scoring that one. That was just a snipe, Braden, and we're going to get a second look at that right here. Take us through it.
Wow, I mean, that's just a nice pass. And McKiernan, she pulls Dolce off to the right side, realizes she really can't get a shot off, so she just kind of throws it behind her back and puts it in. Just an amazing, I mean, that's an amazing overall play right there. Takes a skilled individual to do that. Quinn McKiernan definitely capable of it, as she just did. Now the Rams lead 7-4.
Gutsy make from Quinn McKiernan to score her first goal on the year. McKenna Harden getting yet another assist. Darien has made it a priority to prevent her from scoring, but the problem is she's still finding ways to put up points and make her impact on this game for the former Connecticut High School Coaches Association and Game Time CT All-State player as a sophomore. Just under 9 minutes left in this game, and Darien needs to take a step up if they want to keep their perfect record alive.
I mean, if you do look at a potential positive there of giving up that goal, the fact that Darien doesn't have to play that cat and mouse game anymore looking for the ball. They won the face-off, and they lose it back there again. And actually, there might be a foul here, so Darien might luck out keeping the ball.
Let's see what the official charge will be. Clock still ticking, under 8:20 left to go in the second half. It will still be Darien possession. No free look for the Blue Wave.
I think they deemed that McGuckin was actually moving away from the crease, so she wouldn't get a free possession, but rather just the spot of the foul will pick up.
And a great game, too, from Claire Mahoney. Her defense has done her a lot of favors, but she's come up big as she's now the full-time starter for New Canaan in goal. Moving it around the perimeter, Ryan Hapgood over. Back to Hapgood, catching it in stride. Hapgood moving inside. Getting on the cut. Scooped up by Mahoney. Really excellent save on the right side of the net for Mahoney. But it will still be Darien possession. But holding up well there was the junior.
It looked like their Vidable took the shot and she got fouled, so she's now going to get a free possession. Let's see if Darien can keep their high reputation up of scoring on these free possessions.
There's the shot. There's the make. Top shelf finish for the Blue Wave, and they pulled to within 2 with 7:07 left to go in the second half. Was it a Vidable there?
It does appear to be. I mean, that's a very heads-up play for a Vidable there. Take a couple steps in, realize New Canaan crashes her the closer she gets to the crease, so just rifle the shot, put it in, and Darien's now only down by 2.
So it was Kate Vidable, number 25, the sophomore, who makes this a much more manageable game for the Blue Wave. A timeout is called. Players will huddle up once again with just over 7 minutes left to go in the second half. Ian Nicholas, Braden, Schenck, and the rest of the NCTV crew, the rest of the DAF Media crew bringing you the live action. So whichever channel you're watching on, whichever platform you're on, you know, no rivalries in the world of media. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let's get a second look at that goal to make sure that it was Kate Vidable who scored.
I would assume it was her. She was taking that free possession for Darien.
And it was, as you could see her teammates crash around her. And we can see the huddle here. Coach Kristen Woods and her excellent coaching staff trying to break down how they can come away from this game with a win. Still plenty of time, Braden. Only a 2-goal lead for New Canaan with 7 minutes left to go in the half. In regulation, really.
Yeah, I mean, it's still anyone's game. Still 2 minutes left. Coach Woods, I mean, you really just got to be telling your team here, you just got to hold on to the ball, really not let Darien get any good looks because they're just 2 shots away from tying this game up. As for Darien on the other side, I got to assume Coach Lindley is telling her girls that this face-off is crucial, and if you win that face-off, you got to put up a good possession and have it result in a goal.
I agree with you, Braden. It's a huge possession. New Canaan has proven today as they have their sticks in the air. The energy is high in that close huddle. They've proven that they can take the long possessions and they can score off the long possessions. Yeah. And with no shot clock in Connecticut, they have plenty of time to just play carefree ball and try to pull out this major upset victory. It would be, albeit these are the 2 top teams in the FCAC, but given the circumstance, only one practice off the quarantine. Such a hot start Darien has had. They have absolutely dominated this league over the last decade. Not a lot of people had their money, their imaginary money on New Canaan.
I mean, this is just really a good showing for New Canaan. Despite the result here, they still have 13 games to go. And I got to assume they're going to be playing. I mean, other teams got to be scared after watching this. The fact that they're taking the best team in the state, potentially even beating them here with 7 minutes left. So Greenwich in their next game, I got to assume they're going to be kind of concerned here.
It's going to be Kaylee Harden and Sadie Stafford once again at the face-off. Again on this critical face-off. Who will win the draw is the question. Kaylee Harden has taken over recently after both her sister McKenna and Lexi Tully got in some face-off attempts, some draw attempts as well.
That one's up.
Coming in hard, but failing to scoop it up was number 7, Devin Russell, and it's Darien ball into the hand of Hapgood, into the stick of Hapgood. The ball is loose, though, and it's going to be the goalie with the easy pickup, but there is a stoppage.
It is going to be interesting if the refs rule this a potential free possession, or if it looks like she's going to start with it at the hanging hash over there, Kata Vitable. Or is she actually going to move in to a hash and get a free possession? Doesn't look like a free possession. It looks like it's just going to be a pickup start, but still a good opportunity. Actually,
it is a free possession, Braden. Or maybe not. It looked like it was a free possession and they just took it out.
I'm not really sure what just happened there.
Me neither.
But Darien still has the ball.
Darien does. That's all that really matters. They need to keep possession. They need to put up some goals. Still plenty of time. 6:10 left to go in this final half of action. New Canaan, the 7-5 lead. A low-scoring affair on the road in a cold, windy day. The cutting Stein couldn't get her stick on it. Racing away with it, the freshman Devin Russell. Russell looking to clear it. She finds another speedster in Dylan Patton. Patton behind the cage. Two Darien defenders instantly go to guard her. She speeds away from them. Gets it to Hollis Mulry. Mulry doesn't take the shot. Quinn McKiernan, the last goal for New Canaan. She moves in. Spins away from problems.
With 5 minutes left, Darien's really got to come out aggressive here because they got to get possession of the ball. New Canaan's really just going to take their time here. They don't really have much to rush for. Up 2 goals, no shot clock.
Moving in, Kaylee Harden. As you mentioned, no rush for the Rams. Looking to hold on to what would be a monumental win in this young season. McKiernan over to Mulry. Just over 5 minutes left in regulation. Mulry to her left. Falling, but no penalty called. Kate Bellissimo hits Vidak. Shot off to the right. A miss there from number 5, Stella Nolan. But New Canaan retains possession. Whistle blown. But play will pick up in a moment. Quinn McKiernan with it.
That was a nice save for Dolce there on her right side. I mean, really every shot now is crucial because just one New Canaan goal could put this one out of reach.
Especially in a game where it's been a defensive battle. Every goal means that much more. As McKiernan is going to retain possession. A little too much pressure from the Blue Wave. Mulry, the shot fake for save. Dolce, smooth in the cage. Doing what she does best in the face of pressure. That pressure from Hollis Mulry. She'll take it out of a crease and look to clear it with 4 minutes left and Darien down 2.
I know one person who's really going to be happy with that save. John and Bev Birch watching in Amelie Island. Thank you for watching our broadcast here. That was Shea Dolce's grandparents, as her granddaughter made a nice save there. And we're going to see a yellow card on Harden for New Canaan. So Darien, for the next 2 minutes, will be up a man. And remember, 1 goal does not bring her out of that penalty.
And that is just a double doozy because not only is it a 2-minute man-up situation for Darien, but Kaylee Harden, one of the top players on this New Canaan team, is going to commit the penalty. The Darien sideline is amped as another stoppage in play.
Stella Nolan looks like she got a yellow card and is now going to the penalty box.
We've got double trouble
Wow.
Darien gets a break from the guides, and within seconds, both Stella Nolan and Kaylee Harden have fouled, and now they're 2 men up.
Wow. That's a gutsy calls there by the referees, especially this close and this big of a game. Darien now has a 2-man advantage.
A two-man advantage and 2 goals down. Can Claire Mahoney and this defense clamp down and pull out a win in regulation? Darien cutting. The defense is there. The ball is loose and scooped up by the Blue Wave. They'll have this advantage for another minute and a half, give or take. Under 3 minutes left, the ball loose. Darien is all over the place. The ball in a New Canaan stick.
They're going to call a foul there on someone. I'm going to say it's on Darien.
It is going to be on Darien. And what a defensive possession from the Rams. Down both Nolan and Kaylee Harden. And they regain possession and don't give up a goal. Still roughly 52 seconds to a minute left of New Canaan being down 2 men. Emma Shue looking to clear. She will be pushed. That will be a foul on number 10, Sadie Stafford.
And it looks like she's pulling for the yellow card. And
going through.
Yep.
And that is a yellow card.
So 3 penalties now. Sadie Stafford will go on the penalty, and now the advantage is only 1 player for Darien.
Exactly right. Penalties galore in the final stages of the second half. That one on number 10, Sadie Stafford. So Darien down 1 man. Darien, New Canaan down 2. New Canaan loses the ball. Darien takes over. Into the hands of Shea Dolce, into the stick. Only 2 minutes left and down 2 goals. It's now or never for the Blue Wave.
It really is. Those penalty times actually were running off faster than I thought. They just got to beat those New Canaan players down to the field because the New Canaan sideline on the far side. So they're going to be running quite some ways to come back into the zone. Now I believe we're back to even strength. And New Canaan actually looking to be a man up here.
Darien just needs to put up a shot. New Canaan's defenders have checked back in. Kaylee Harden, Stella Nolan. New Canaan still man up for a minute. And there's pretty much a minute left in this game. Darien just can't find anything.
Now you really got to take a quick possession. They're going to look for a cut in front, a shot, and then a winning face-off. That's really what they need to come back in this game.
You know what's been winning today? It's the New Canaan defense. Still stellar over the final minutes of this game. At one point, down 2 men.
The look.
What will they break down here? Deflected away off a shot from Ryan Hapgood. The ball is loose. New Canaan scoops it up, and clearing it is Emma Shue with under a minute left in this game. And this game almost over. New Canaan moments away from a win as Emma Shue looks to drain out clock. Darien had a big-time chance to get back in this game as they were up 2 men and they turned the ball over and came away goalless.
I think big could even be an understatement. That was a monumental shot for Darien. That, I think New Canaan's going to have this one just about wrapped up.
Nearly blowing it up in the final stages, but New Canaan doing what they need to do.
The yellow card.
The yellow card will pull out, but only 16.1 seconds remain. It's going to go on Darien's number 9, Kate Bellissimo. So she will check out for the remainder of this one. New Canaan will be man up. It does not really matter in the grand scheme of things, as they will most likely hold, chew clock, and break Darien's 85-game winning streak of wins consecutively against FCAC opponents. This game is over, and New Canaan, for the first time in years, has taken down the Blue Wave right on Dunning Field. 7-5, your final. The Rams over the Blue Wave in game number 1 of their 2021 season.
I mean, that's just a great win. Their first win since 2012 against the Blue Wave in the regular season. Also, I think that could be the first time in at least a couple of years that Darien's been held to 5 goals or less, because that's a low number for this electric offense that Darien has produced in the last couple of years.
A stunner here from Dunning Field. The home team gets the win off of quarantine. 1 practice yesterday. Coach Kristen Woods was excited for this game. Maybe she knew something we didn't. Her team this year has what it takes to win it all. 1993 was the last time this team won an FCAC championship. It was the first year of a tournament existed. They haven't won one since. They've been to 12. They've lost all 12. And 6 of them to the hands of Darien in the FCAC tournament. Today, though, they do not lose to Darien. As Braden mentioned, for the first time in 9 long years, New Canaan Girls Lacrosse has beaten the Darien Blue Wave by a final score of 7-5. And Braden, I know this is your first time really seeing the New Canaan Girls Lacrosse team, but if you could pick a player and name them player of the game, who would you give that award to?
Well, you mentioned this is my first time seeing them. It's everyone's first time seeing them. This was their first time on the field.
It was.
Nearly 2 years. If I had to pick a player, Dylan Patton on the offense really was electric. But, I mean, you got to choose between Patton and Harden. I just think you go with the dynamic duo right there. They had a bunch of good passes, good shots. Patton, just a junior, really, I think 2 goals today, really putting this one away for the New Canaan Rams. As for Darien, a rough loss. I mean, they just were giving up opportunities, wide open opportunities for the Rams. They got to regroup something. They play at Richfield and at Greenwich Academy, so 2 tough games on the road. Coach Lisa Lindley, I feel like she's got to get something across here. That I mean, this can't happen again if they're looking to win some more games, potentially another FCAC championship.
Looking to win their 9th straight FCAC title. No one has stepped up to the plate across the league to provide a challenge. Will their arch rival New Canaan be that team this year? They're able to knock off their arch rival on their home field for the first time in 9 years. New Canaan is now 1-0. Darien dropping to 3-1 in this early FCAC game regular season matchup. A defensive grudge match. Both goalies played really well. Shea Dolce didn't really have a lot of support from the defensive end. Not enough, I should say. New Canaan getting this nail-biting win, 7-5. Want to thank my color man, Braden Schenck, for coming down here, doing the game with me. Great doing the game with you. Want to thank our camera operators upstairs, Chase Pinkernell, and excuse me, I don't know the last
Eric
name.
Bellingham.
Eric Bellingham.
DAF Media Zone.
DAF Media Zone doing a fantastic job, thrown into the fray roughly 10 minutes before game time. Want to thank my phenomenal producer, Emily Fox, for putting this game together. Also want to thank our advisors from NCTV, Roman Sobolski, from DAF Media, Damian Andrew. Want to thank our athletic director, Jay Egan. And before we sign off, let's get a look at those sponsors one last time.
Actually, thank you, Ian. Thank you and Roman to stream this game on DAF Media. I actually got to read through these sponsors here, but thank you guys so much here. It's really been a pleasure to be working with you guys today and hopefully in the future.
Of course, it's been an honor for me as we go through our gold sponsor now, Club Sandwich, to work with DAF Media over the years, from the freezing cold Turkey Bowl in 2018, what a phenomenal game that was, to everything else that's come with this partnership. You know, those 2 teams out on the field might not like each other too much, but no animosity here. I say it every time. Love working with you guys. Love the extra hand, love the extra attention, and we really like this partnership, and we will see more of these teams match up this year, whether it's in girls lacrosse or with the guys. And that game on Saturday, make sure to tune into that one right on your channel on DAF Media, where the Darien boys lacrosse team looking to stay undefeated, playing the New Canaan Rams, who have picked up 2 really close, really great wins against ranked teams in Fairfield Prep and Wilton. As we continue to go through our sponsors, shouting out Togs and everyone else who has been a phenomenal support to us. Dr. Austin Feeney, the Lewis School of Driving, Prudding & Company Custom Builders, our final black sponsor. Your final score from Dunning Field for the first time in 9 years. That scoreboard reads New Canaan Girls Lacrosse in the winning column. They're now 1-0, 7-5. Darien now 3-1. Ian Nicholas signing off from this big time game from Dunning. We'll see you all very soon. Have a great night.